Hey guys, it's Madison Estes. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another poetry vlog. The theme of this vlog is summer poetry. I didn't just come up with this theme on my own. One of the poetry groups that I joined recently is doing an open mic this week, and the theme is summer poems. And I didn't have anything, so I was just gonna skip this week, honestly, because usually it's a critique group. But every now and then they do an open mic where we don't critique, we just read and vibe, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else you'd call it. You just feel. You just go and you feel, and it's nice, and it's like a big group therapy session. But anyways, I was planning on just skipping because I didn't have anything, but then I just spontaneously wrote this poem out of nowhere. Like I said in a previous vlog, it's really hard for me to do poetry vlogs because so much of writing poetry happens like in the moment, on the spot, or just when the mood strikes, and I don't usually like have the forethought to drag my camera out and lighting and everything and like record myself writing. So this poem just kind of happened. Like more so than even most poems happen, so I didn't get the chance to vlog it, but I really liked it and I really wanted to share at least parts of it. I can't share the whole poem because I believe that's considered self-publishing. Even if I just read it out loud, it's still self-published, so I'm just going to read a few lines from it. The working title is called Exterminating Hope. I saw an article about how to get rid of dandelions, calling them invasive and pesky things. But dandelions are hope. Contained within hundreds of little tendrils are wishes and magic and everything you wish you could get back. How can you exterminate hope like you would a pile of ants? How can hope be a weed in your garden? So that's the poem. It's not the poem, it's like half the poem. It's a really short poem, but I took out several parts of it so that it's not technically published, and parts of that might end up changing before I submit it anywhere else. I've already submitted it one place because the deadline was coming up, and it's a magazine that does themes for every issue, and the upcoming issue was weeds, so I was like, this is perfect. In fact, this poem wasn't even, I guess it was like halfway finished, I don't know, and then I was like, I need to flesh this out more before I can submit it, so I just added a few more things, and I really liked it. The whole part that I read about contained within little tendrils are magic and wishes, like that was one part that I just threw in there just to make it longer because it was so short, and it ended up being my favorite part, so that's really cool when that happens, when you're just, you know, bullshitting in a poem and trying to like make things a little bit longer so your poem doesn't feel like quite so short, and then it ends up being one of your favorite parts. It's cool. So so I submitted it. I don't think it's gonna get accepted just because it is still really short, and it's also a pretty prestigious magazine, so I don't know, we'll see. I don't believe in self-rejecting, but I also believe in keeping your expectations realistic. So I haven't submitted it anywhere else, and I do want to at least read it during the open mic before I start submitting it again, because I feel like maybe that will, even though it's not really supposed to be critiquing, I could still possibly get feedback on it before I submit it anywhere else. And if you would like to give me feedback, if you'd like to hear the rest of the poem and give feedback, just leave a comment below with an email address I can send it to. I promise I will not put you on any mailing list or newsletter. I don't even have one, don't want one, probably ever. I guess at some point I might have to get one, but I promise I won't put you on it without permission, and it'll be a long time from now because I feel like newsletters really just are just one more thing to distract me from writing and creating, and I don't need that, so. Anyways, so I'll just send the poem if that's what you want. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and read a couple more summer poems just to like keep the vlog going. No, just to kind of keep up with the theme, because I only have one summer poem. I just have the one. And unless you want to consider the siren poem I just wrote a summer poem, because it's kind of summery. It takes place in the ocean, and even though it does involve like, you know, monsters and somewhat kind of like cannibalism, I guess, and, you know, like a psychopathic sailor gutting people open, but, you know, like, it's still summery. Okay, so I'm going to read a few poems from Shel Silverstein. Silverstein? I don't know, I've never said his name out loud. I'm gonna say Silverstein. I think that's how you say it. Shel Silverstein. Hopefully I'm right. Hopefully he's not turning over in his grave right now. Because I just googled summer poems and I couldn't find anything that I connected with, so I was like, Well, I know I love this this poet, so I'm going to go ahead and just read some of his. This one I really like. It makes me think of Texas. It makes me think that this poet has been to Texas, because he just captured the way it feels so well. It's hot. I've tried with electric fans and pools and ice cream cones. I think I'll take my skin off and sit around in my bones. And another poem by the same author called Here Comes. Here comes summer, chirping robin, budding rose. Here comes summer, gentle showers, summer clothes. Here comes summer, whoosh, shiver, there it goes. That poem is not about Texas, because in Texas it feels like we never fully get rid of summer. It's like kind of cool weather from January to March, and then it's like summer light, and then right around the time the end of May hits, it's like brutal summer up until like November. So, and then it kind of just feels like cooler summer. We don't usually get winter here. I think we did a couple years back, whenever everything was freezing, like the Arctic freeze, which was, God, that was only 2021, wasn't it? Or was it 2020? I don't know. 1 year we froze our butts off, that's all I can remember. But usually it's brutal. So this poem is not about Texas. I'm gonna read one more summer poem. This poem isn't like strictly considered a summer poem, but to me it has a lot of summer vibes to it, so it counts. It's called Violent Bent Backwards Over the Grass by Lana Del Rey. Yes, she writes poems too. I went to a party, I came in hot, made decisions beforehand, my mind made up. Things that would make me happy, to do them or not. Each option weighed quietly, a plan for each thought. But then I walked through the door past the open concept and saw Violet bent backwards over the grass, 7 years old with dandelions grasped tightly in her hands, arched like a bridge in a fallen handstand, grinning wildly like a madman, with the exuberance that only doing nothing can bring, waiting for the fireworks to begin. And in that moment, I decided to do nothing about everything, forever. So yeah, I don't know, I just really like that poem. You know, the imagery of, you know, the grass and flowers and fireworks and coming in hot to a party, all of it just reminds me of summer. And in addition to the summer vibes and the fact that this poem just makes me want to sit around day drinking all day, I really like, you know, the part where she talks about how she made all her decisions beforehand and, you know, she weighed each option quietly, especially in the context of like going to a party. Like she already decided what she is and isn't going to do, which sounds super fun, right? Like I'm gonna go to a party and decide beforehand everything that I'm going to do. And then like by the end of it, after, you know, taking in nature and seeing, you know, the way that this violet is basically being like grasped with dandelions and bent over backwards. She doesn't want to be bent over backwards. She doesn't want to have everything predetermined. And, you know, she decides to do nothing about everything, that she's just going to go through life without a plan. At least that's my interpretation of the poem. I don't know, it just makes me feel very free whenever I read it. It gives me summer vibes, it makes me feel free, it makes me feel like going through life and not planning things. I really don't need encouragement to do that. That's kind of my default these days, but I like that something is encouraging me to do it, to just kind of live life and not overthink it. So I tend to go back and forth between two extremes of overthinking everything and then not thinking things through. So I don't know, there's something that's really freeing about this poem, and it kind of gives you permission to not overthink things. So I really enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed it as well. I had a lot of fun sharing some of my favorite summer poems, as well as the poem that I wrote part of. Again, if you would like to read that, just leave a comment below with an email address that I can send it to, and I will send you my poem. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and be sure to subscribe. On this channel, I post reviews, writing advice, horror commentary, and vlogs. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later.